If you enjoy this video, remember to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. With that being said, hello everyone. Welcome back to another video. My name is Matthew, and today we're taking a look at the Funko Pop movies 70th Anniversary Wave Godzilla 1954. This is number 1662 of the Funko Pop movies line, and is the first in the set of the new Godzilla 70th Anniversary line. So, what we're going to be taking a look at today is essentially just the pop, and if you're wondering about the box itself, we're going to take a look at that at a different time. It's kind of cool, even after all these years, that they're still doing the classic figures, because originally they put out a very simplistic, basic classic Godzilla, but then all these years later, they're like, okay, screw it, let's actually go back and do some more specific ones, and now we have the 1954. But will this 54 be up to par with some of the more better Godzillas they've been putting out, like the GVK line and the Singular Point line? Or is this just a big dud? Well, let's check it out. For the sculpt and paint, despite being a more simplified and yet simplistic version of the 1954 Godzilla, he's actually a reference to the 1954 poster, which we see him holding a plane and spewing the atomic breath, even though this one doesn't really have it. And as a result, it uses a more black and white color scheme instead of the color that we actually see throughout a lot of the Funko Pops. And I honestly have to say, I dig this. For the head, we actually have some really nice molded eyes that are actually sculpted pretty well onto it, and actually have a bit of expression thanks to the brow and a bit of the cheek kind of overlapping the eye. I like it when they do this. It gives the Funko Pops a lot more expression and gives it a lot more depth. What I also like is the detail work, because all the bumps and crevices are actually pretty well sculpted, especially with the nostrils in there as well, being a little bit on the more shallow end, but they are sculpted and painted, which is actually a really nice surprise. The mouth, very simplistic and very cartoony, but we do have a nicely painted and sculpted in tongue, with some teeth that are individually sculpted and painted with a row of stripped white teeth, and it almost makes me wonder what this thing would look like if it was colorized. Next on, moving on to the head, the top of the head, we have the 5 rows of fins that go down to the 3 rows of fins, which is kind of odd, but whatever. We do have like the more beady ears. Keep in mind the 54 had more pointy ears than most Godzillas. Some Godzillas don't even have ears, which is really well done. I would have kind of preferred if they were a bit bigger, but it's okay on its own. We have some more like nice scaling detail going down here, especially to the back. The plane actually looks really well done, even though it's like really small. It's definitely got that more, again, simplistic appearance with some mild paint apps of gray kind of lining, especially on the front side. Not so much on the back, but that's okay. Gray painted nails, which are really well done, especially for the size. And I do like the pose that it's in, keeping the palms up, which again is true to the 54 film, because he did have his palms up, at least for a majority of the film. But we do have some nice detailing here on the chest. A bit of like a lining here where it kind of gets a little clustered, and then kind of back to a bit more sporadic detail. And then we kind of go down to the legs, more line work here for the scaling. And then we have like the 4 clawed feet, which we have the first 3 of kind of claws here at the front, and then the back toe here as well. And we do have some detail, not detail, legal information here, but we do have some detail here at the bottom of the tail itself, which I am glad that they did keep. But going back here, again, we have some more, like, kind of more simplistic molding here with the arm. Wasn't expecting, like, too much out of it. But moving on to the back, we do get the nice 3 row of spines, which are actually sculpted and painted pretty well. I do like how reminiscent they are of the 54 fins, and they definitely got the shape, like, pretty much speaking to a T. My real only gripe is that I kind of wish they were a bit bigger, but given the fact that this is a Funko Pop, I'm not too mad. And we do have some nice molding here at the tail, although you might be wondering why it's missing a row. Well, the original 54, and I think it's, if I remember correctly, it didn't always have the 3 rows. I could be wrong about that, but mine also does feature some paint bubbling, which is a bit of a bummer. But again, it's all going to be to the front anyway. And it's also in a really cool pose, again, because you got the palms up, the body slightly twisted away from the head, so the head's looking this way while the body's like off to the side. And then you got the tail swooping off to the side like this. So pretty much speaking, the whole body is almost out of alignment, which again makes it a lot more expressive. And you also have a really nice kind of facial expression, which again just kind of elevates the figure to be a lot better than it really should be. And also in addition to that, it's also got some nice weight. Like this is actually a fairly heavy Funko Pop, especially for like 3-inch. So if you do like your Funko Pops with a bit more weight, this is definitely like going to be right up your alley. So before we get into like the size comparisons, I want to just kind of bring up the original Funko Pop Godzilla, which was released in 2015, and I unboxed and got him back in 2017. And as you can see, like, this is a 9-year difference. This is incredible improvement. Because not only is, at least in my opinion, the quality of the paint just overall better, but the overall sculpt is just a lot more nicer and I guess a lot more compact on this one. I almost would have preferred if this guy was in this scale, but ironically, there was a 10-inch version of this guy that completely dwarfs him. So, really, I guess there's really no winning with the 1954 Godzilla. And if also, I am aware that there's a black and white variant of this. I do not remember which exclusive it's to, because I think the SDCC ones are glow in the dark, or the black and white ones. Okay, like I'm trying to think. Well, whatever. Basically, there's like a bajillion repaints of this guy. This guy and the glow in the dark ones are the only ones I own at the moment. And just for some more quick shots, you can kind of see like the backs here. They got the same pose going on, but definitely this one's a lot more dynamic. And kind of see like, especially up here, again, the mold just looks a bit cleaner here than it does there. And especially like the bottom of the feet. Again, they both got the detail pretty much non-existent. But again, it's just kind of... This guy actually kind of weighs... feels a little heavier. Just kind of realized. Whatever. But yeah, just to wrap that up. And to get into some more of the actual size comparisons, here he is next to some of the other Funko Pop 3-inch Godzillas, with the 2021 Godzilla vs. Kong Godzilla, and the Godzilla Singular Point 2021 Godzilla Ultima Standard version. And as you can see, the paint-wise, these two pretty much knock him out of the water. But as far as like the sculpt quality goes, he's not that bad. And here he is next to some other Godzilla 54s in the collection with the Vinimates version from Diamond Select Toys and the Reaction Series Toho Classics Godzilla 54 from Super 7. And as you can see, well, let's just take the guy. When I said that this is a reverse Funko Pop, now we literally have a Godzilla 54 Funko Pop. Comparison incoming. And here he is next to the U2's Godzilla. And as you can see, he's definitely a bit taller, but I definitely like the more, I guess, cartoony appeal. And I mean, I don't know how to really describe it. There's something that makes me like this guy more than him, but then again, I paid both with my own money. Ironically, I still don't own the black and white version of him, so once we do that, we can finally do a figure showdown between these two as well. And for some various miscellaneous 54s, here he is next to the Johnny Lightning 50-year Godzilla with Jeep, and the Vinimates, the UB Finger Puppets Godzilla 1954 V1 and 2, and custom painted Spitfire version. Yes, I still have this. And here he is next to some 6-inch Godzilla 1954s with the NECA 54 from, I think, yeah, you're the original release from 2015, of course. The Bandai Creations first Godzilla from, the Bandai Creations Godzilla line, and the 1956 NECA Godzilla King of the Monsters, Raymond Burr, Awesome, and then some. And to round out the crew, here he is next to his other two brethren that I currently own, the 84 and the 2000, or 99. And if you're wondering where Shin Godzilla is, I don't own Shin Godzilla because right now, something funny is going on with him. I went to my local collectible store and they were sold out, despite the fact that they only got them one day before I actually went. And furthermore, I looked online and it's like sold out freaking everywhere. Like, Shin Godzilla's getting raked. Overall, for the Funko Godzilla 1954, it's really great. I honestly really think it's good. That being said, I definitely think that there is a bit of a drawback with the lack of maybe some extra paint, like some dry brushing and wash, to really bring out some of the more finer details that you can't really see on the figure's own standard. That, and I kind of would have liked maybe a bit more of like a bigger spine, I guess more bigger spines. But aside from those two issues, this figure is again really well done. I like the black and white paint applications on this thing, and I like the pose that it's in, giving it a bit more characterization compared to the basic Funko Pop, which is just consists of the same pose and the same expression with the mouthless, well, face. I definitely think that this is going to be, in my personal opinion, though, the weakest of the three that I currently have. Just by a bit of a small margin. It's definitely up there, though. But with that being said, I think that this guy is an absolute win. But with that being said as well, thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed the video, remember to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And with that being said, see you guys next time. Peace out, everyone.